Ladies and gentlemen, Direct Sale Nation presents Chantel Schultz. Get the latest information on direct sale companies, products, business building strategies, and opportunities. We support the guys and gals next door because we are the guys and gals next door. Join us at directsalenation.com to find and list a business and sign up for our newsletter. And now your host, Chantel Schultz.
Well, we're back for day 2 with Laurie Hayes. She is a senior manager and independent distributor with Send Out Cards. She talked to us yesterday about all of her awesome products and all the things that go along with that. And today she's going to talk to us about her business opportunity as well as how she has built her business and some of her personal experiences in direct sales. So thank you so much for being here with us again today. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Great to be here.
Great. Well, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and give us a brief description of what Send Out Cards is all about and the products that they offer?
Sure. I'm an independent distributor with Send Out Cards and a senior manager with the company, and that's just a rank within the company. And I just started using it as a product back in 2006. It was just a perfect tool for me to stay in touch with my coaching clients. And I became a distributor at the same time because it just made sense to me. I thought it was brilliant, and because I worked with so many people starting their own businesses, I thought, well, this is a tool I'm going to be recommending to them anyway, so I might as well be a distributor. So that's where it all started back in 2006 for me.
Well, great. So a lot of direct sale companies talk about your why or your reason for succeeding in direct sales. So can you tell us a little bit about your why?
My why is tied to actually my core values. And one of my core values has always been about helping and teaching people. So when I became a distributor with the company, it just enabled me to help and teach on a much grander scale because everything is so leveraged. I meet a lot more people through this type of business model, through the introductions and everybody else bringing other people in and introducing them to me. So that's one reason why I was really attracted to it. Another reason why is because what I do has to be fun. Freedom and fun are my top 2 core values. And this company allows me to do fun things. I'm always making people feel good, and the whole freedom part's built right in there. Well, the freedom with the money that comes in with it, but also with I can sit on a beach with my laptop, or I could be sitting in a park with my laptop, and I could be training people anywhere in the world. So my why is strongly tied to just my core values being met by this.
Great. Well, can you tell us about the business opportunity that Send Out Cards offers and how someone can get involved or find out more?
When people ask me about the business opportunity, I think the very best thing I could do for them is just send them to the website and let it do the presentation and let it do the talking. And there's a couple reasons for that. Anybody can go to www.cardattraction.com. That's my distributor website. When you go there, there are a series of videos there that they're very short, couple minutes, 3 minutes tops, I think, that a person can really get a good sense of whether or not they'd rather be a customer or whether they'd want to explore the distributor option. And another reason that I refer people to the website instead of giving you all the details in a conversation is because it's duplicatable. I teach everybody to use the tools to share the business opportunities so they don't feel they have to know what all to say to everybody, and they don't get started because they feel they don't know enough. So by keeping it so that even an 8-year-old can do it and say, hey, here's a website, go click there, that's how I build really clean and simple and duplicatable. So anyone
awesome.
can go to that website.
Oh, yes. And then they all have the same information, and then they can make a decision based on that, and that's great.
Exactly.
So is the business opportunity available to people who live outside of, you're in Canada, correct?
I'm in Canada. At this time, you can be a distributor if you're in one of 7 countries. So there's the United States, there's Canada, there's the UK, there's Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, and Singapore right now. However, they do have plans where we will be going into many more countries in the next few years. So it will be opening up on a larger global scale.
That's really exciting.
It is.
So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about your experience in direct sales and with this company. What has been your biggest hurdle in growing your business, and how have you overcome it?
My biggest hurdle, it actually held me up for about a year. And I learned by listening to different trainers and leaders in this profession with many other companies, including our own, that once your team starts growing and building, what happens is a lot of people will switch to what they call manager mode instead of staying in recruiting mode. And I fell into that trap. And my team was growing, so I wanted them all to get to the same position I had. So I took time off of personal sponsoring. I took my focus off of it. And I started spending time trying to motivate, trying to inspire, trying to get people to have a fire in them like I had in myself. And in that year, I slowed things right down. And I realized I had made a really big mistake there. So I turned it around, got back into personal and sponsoring because I understood that people would do what I do. They had to see me doing it. So I had to get back into that again. As soon as I started doing that, my team started growing again through my efforts, but also through the other team members because they were doing what I was doing. So that was my biggest mistake.
Right. Leading by example is always the best way to go about it.
Yes.
Well, can you tell us about a time that you stepped out of your comfort zone to grow your business, and how did that turn out?
Oh, yes. Well, I'm not a public speaker. Actually, I don't ever want to be a public speaker, but I was taught by a mentor that the person who stands at the front of the room with the marker in the hand is the one that makes the money. So I knew, you've got no choice, Laurie. You're going to have to get to the front of a room. So an opportunity came where I was asked to speak in front of a group of businesswomen on the subject of relationship marketing and appreciation marketing. So I created a slideshow and I did the presentation, and then I wrapped it up at the end with a call to action, referring them to send out cards as the perfect tool for relationship building. And from that one presentation, I brought in a series of customers, but also people who were in that room asked me then to go and speak to their respective groups. So that put me in front of groups of real estate agents after that. A government agency had me come in and speak at a conference. Different women's groups have had me go in and speak. So although it's not something I love to do, I do it. And you get better at it with time. But it's really helped to grow my business with bringing in customers and distributors.
It sounds that way. That was awesome.
It made me a better trainer. If I wouldn't have put myself there, I wouldn't be as good a trainer as I am either. So,
right. Well, and that's something that's really great about direct sales in general is there's so many opportunities to grow in ways that you never even would have expected. And just like you were saying that you wouldn't have expected, that to keep going. I mean, that is phenomenal to just have that experience every single time and get to know more people and get to expand your network and then also like send out the good, news about send out cards and relationship marketing. And that's all direct sales too.
Exactly. You just have to step out of your comfort zone. If you don't, you don't grow. And I've got to practice what I preach and be able to talk about the fear and show I'll move through it so that others will follow behind me and do the same. We all have to do that.
Right. Yeah. It's easy to be like, oh, you should try this.
Yes.
I've never done it, but good luck.
It's true.
Well, speaking of that, what's the craziest thing you've ever done to what's the craziest thing you've ever done to grow your business? Or has there ever been a time that somebody said, hey, you should try this, and you thought, no, that's crazy, that's not going to work, and then it did? Has something like that ever happened with you?
Yeah, I'll go with the first option where, what have you done that's probably the craziest thing? And it was completely spontaneous. Don't ask me why I did it. I don't know. But I was at a women's meeting. There's a networking group here in town. They have a meeting once a month. And this was in the early stages a couple of years ago when they were just starting up. And they had about 100 or so women in the room. And they hand out door prizes at the end of the night. So I don't know what everyone else's experience is with certain events, but some can get pretty formal, and you always are concerned about what people are thinking of you and how you've got to behave in a certain way. And they were handing out the door prizes, and when I won one of the door prizes. I thought, I want this to be fun. So I jumped up and I pretended I won, like I was on The Price is Right, and I started dancing and working my way up to the front of the room. I was way at the back, so I had to work my way through the crowd to get to the front. But then the DJ saw me dancing, so he threw on some music. So then I put on a show while I was working my way up to the front. But that one event has put me in front of that room now every single month. The president has me go up every single month now. I'm a part of the whole hand out the door prize thing, and we make it a lot of fun. And one month she couldn't make it. She had an emergency come up in the last hour. She couldn't get there. She texted me and said, "Can you MC this event?" So there we go again with the whole public speaking, but I did it for her. And but that was probably the craziest. But because of that, people understood right away that I believe life and business they have to be fun. They're supposed to be fun. And you don't have to care what other people think. As you got to be reasonable, but you can still have fun and be yourself, and people will love you for it.
Oh, yes, definitely. That is awesome. That is a great story. I love that. Okay, well, what has been the most effective strategies that you've used to build your business that work every single time?
Well, I'll tell you what all I've done, and then I'll tell you what the best ones were.
Okay.
I have done webinars with 100 plus people on a webinar. I've done some home, like we don't really have it's not a party plan, but some people will ask you to come into the home and, show the cards to a group of people. So, I've done that too. And webinars, parties, cold calling for one full year. I did cold calling, brought in distributors and customers, called across Canada, different people in different professions. I use social media, but the very most effective way that I have built is through one-on-one conversations, whether they be in person or whether they be on the telephone, but it's somebody I already know, not a cold call. So social media has been phenomenal in helping me also, not where I'm posting on Facebook or LinkedIn saying, "Hey, go check out my website or check out my product," but in building relationships. So if somebody's having a birthday, I make sure they get a card from me. If they've got a win or something to celebrate, they get a card, or a struggle. I may even call some of them, or we'll have Skype conversations. So I always focus on using that to build a relationship. But then when we get on the phone or get on Skype or meet in person, where there's a much stronger ability to build the relationship, that's where I've brought in most of my customers, most of my distributors, because there's so much trust and respect that have been built through that. So I've tried many different ways. Those two have been the most effective.
Oh, great. Thank you for the information there. So overall, what would you say are the greatest benefits to being a part of Send Out Cards and the direct sale community in general?
With Send Out Cards, what really speaks to me is the integrity of the leader. Cody Bateman is the CEO and founder of the company, but also in the leadership team, the people that he's attracted into the company. They're all of the same philosophy. It's built on giver's gain. The stories in your mind become the stories in your life. If you put good out into the world, good will come back. I absolutely love their philosophy. I think their product is absolutely phenomenal. And what I especially love is that it's built around emotion. It's built around the two top human emotional needs, which are love and appreciation or acknowledgement. So that all just ties in perfectly with who I am as a person. With the direct sales and the network marketing industries, what really appeals to me about these industries is that I have had firsthand experience personally, but also with people that I've come in contact with, seeing everyday people making their dreams come true. They no longer are subject to somebody else telling them what they're worth or what they're going to get paid or what they can do. I've watched people turn their lives around and take control and responsibility and make things happen for themselves. Probably what I absolutely love most about this business model is that the only way you can get to the top is by raising other people up. You have to put a whole lot of people, help them raise so that you can get to the top. It's not about climbing over people to get up there. And whether it's a business or any other type of organization, even a workplace, there can be many, many people at the top. And you got there by helping others. It's the only way you can get there.
That's a really positive experience and a great way to look at life as well as business. And that's wonderful about direct sales, is just helping others and that human connection.
I agree.
So what would you say to someone who is considering joining a direct sale company but hasn't taken the plunge yet?
One thing I would really do is encourage people. I've received email from people. I've received phone calls from people who've been online and saw these things that were too good to be true, and they bought the packages, and the packages were never shipped, and they don't know where the money went. And I tell all of them, do your due diligence and do a lot of research. Before you put out $1 to anybody, make sure you even talk to a real person before, there can be all kinds of great looking websites and flashy lights, and, they'll take your dollars, and then they'll pull that website down within a few days, and they can't be traced. So due diligence and research first, always. Find a company that's reputable. Find out if they're a member of the Direct Selling Association. Another thing is, are they providing a lot of information where you can confirm who they are, confirm their successes or their profits or revenues, or where you can look at documents like that. A company that will give you full disclosure and has nothing to hide, that's who you want to look at, not a company where you can't confirm anything. Another important thing is the person who might be sponsoring you. You've got to feel a chemistry with that person. If something feels off, that's okay. You might really love the company and want to be a part of it, but you may need to find, a person who you feel has the integrity you're looking for, or shares the same beliefs or values. Look for that kind of thing. Another thing when you're looking for a company is, don't look just at the money. You've got to ask yourself, even if there was no money involved in this company at all, would I use this product on a regular basis? And do I love it? And would I still tell people about it? Because what happens is, so many people follow that bright, shiny dollar sign where they think they're going to get rich. And as soon as something doesn't happen in their time frame that they've set for themselves, or they might have false expectations, they're out, but they wouldn't even use the product, or they never were interested in it anyway. There has to be an authenticity there too, where you absolutely love it and people know that it's tying in with who you are as a person. You don't have to be fake then when you're sharing it with people, and you'll get a lot better results.
Very well said, and those are wonderful things to keep in mind when you are selecting your company. Is there anything else you'd like to say about send out cards and the business opportunity, or business building strategies, or where people can find you?
Yeah, I'll just give you information again on where to find me. For anybody who wants to look at send out cards, whether they're interested in using the product or whether they want to look at the business opportunity, simply go to www.cardattraction.com. That's my independent distributor website. And there are videos there that you can look at that will give you the information. And then if you decide you have, more interest in the distributor option, fill out the contact form there and I will call you. And I always encourage people, don't sign up right on the spot. Make sure you have a chat with me first, because I like to know where people are at. Do they understand that it is actually a real business where, if you treat it like a business and commit to it, you can build a really nice income for yourself, whether you just want something on the side, or maybe you want to be able to support yourself fully from it. So have a conversation with me too, just so I can make sure that you're doing something that's right for you.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here these last 2 days. I've enjoyed talking with you, and the information that you've given us and the business building strategies are just invaluable. That's awesome. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, Chantel. Thank you for asking me to be here with you.
Thanks for listening, and we look forward to meeting you at DirectSellNation.com, where we support the guys and gals next door. Be sure to tune in next time for more great information from Direct Sell Nation and Chantel Schultz. Please be aware that these interviews are conducted with independent representatives and are not official spokespersons for their respective companies. For more information about a specific company, please visit their website.